I'm covering a very specific thing, and that's why I went on the whiskey. It's just a Mexican whiskey. Yep. And it blows my mind. I have not. Whiskey is whiskey. All whiskeys are whiskeys. Some American whiskeys can literally have the same profile as a Scotch. Not a problem. Bourbons, on the other hand, none of them can be a Scotch, but it is a whiskey. So the Scottish version of whiskey is usually blended or single malt, which is a highly coveted one of them, and that's great. Nothing wrong with it. American whiskey can have 0 to 100% corn. By all means, that is a grain. It does count, and it is perfectly fine. Bourbon, though, has to have 51% corn to start. And that is why it will never be a Scotch, but it is a whiskey. So there you go. This is a Mexican one, and it is covering a 100% ancestral corn. And that's what I love, because like we get so used to white and yellow corn, and we're thinking that's it now. There has been multicolored. Some collect the fungus, which is a mushroom, but the fungus takes it over, and they enjoy that fungus because it can only grow on the corn. But when they try to replicate it, it does not want to exist except on what it deems fit, which we're still trying to figure it out. And it's great. So the whole point is corn, great. Yellow and white are not the only colors. You got blue, brown, red, reddish brown, multi-mixed, brown and white, red, brown, and white. It just, the genetics can all come around, and we just picture very basic yellow, white corn. But there was more than that, and it provided nutrients. And that's why you didn't have to chew it, because chewing it, yeah, of course, you're not going to digest it. The shell itself around the corn, because it's technically a fruit, protects it. But when you grind it and mull it and dry it and grind it, it really provided something nutritious, very easy to come by, can resist a lot of bad weather. And so, long story short, I'm very happy to hear 100% corn whiskey and Mexican. So, being part Mexican, but very American, served in 8 years. Thank you and appreciate it, and I will try it. Don't get me wrong, though, I'm all American all the way. But for now, if you're looking for that different thing, that whiskey that's something different, here it is. So, try and get some of that. Oh, it looks very clear. I should not have used this shot glass. Ooh. The corn itself reminds you a little bit of the agave itself. The booziness is very sweet, subtle. The ancestral corn just has that natural corn smell to it, like as if you start boiling corn, you get that smell. It's there. It's not offensive. The bottle itself is brown, so I should have done something clear. It's looking like it's going to be lighter than I thought. Oh, we'll figure out the next one. But it's sitting at 43%, which I'm very thankful for, because one thing that you must know as a bourbon person, even though they try to make fun of you and say, oh, you don't like the complexity, the daring flavor profile of complexity and blah, 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 blah. I'm not a peat moss person, but I love corn. I love grains. I love the smokiness. I like the toastiness. I like the roastiness. I enjoy the sweetness. It's all good. Good American oak grows faster than French oak, and it's great, but it's very clean vanilla, woodsy, you know, cabinet kind of like. Wet leaves, and I just enjoy it. It's complex in its own beautiful way. This one is bringing the simple, clean light. Thank you, Mexico. As much as tequila is great, the actual agave plant that came and brought tequila to where it's at is imported. So I am more of a fan of mezcal, but when you do mezcals, the agave plant is so dense because it's made to survive the territory. It has a lot more leathery and a lot of complexity. It's not the most pleasant, but I love it. But the point is, when you think, oh, tequila is Mexico, not really. It came in later. So to see a Mexican whiskey, I'm very proud. It's very enjoyable, but don't get me wrong, it's because I love whiskey because of America. So God bless America. Here's to that. The ancestral corn. It leaves a crazy not quite malty. The malt is like barley, wheat, rye. The corn itself has flavor, and if you've had good corn, it leaves almost like that film. And then we confuse it because there's butter on it, but it's that, but toasty caramel, slightly like very minute smoky, but it's still very sweet and abundant. And it really reminds me of like biting into a cob of corn, but just more smoky and not grainy. Like there's something in your teeth. It's just the taste of the corn. It's like you're biting into it, and that flavor is still expelling itself. It's really amazing. It's phenomenal. So thank you. Any Leos, if you're whiskey people, I would recommend this. It may remind you of tequila because corn has been neglectedly overlooked by other plants and grains, which is unfortunate. It has a lot to offer, especially the brown corn and blue corn and red. The pigment itself just changes it, and it gives it a simplistic, beautiful complexity that would just blow your mind. But this bottle, not sure how much it costs, but go for it. I'm gonna recommend it. As it sits on my tongue, it is copper distilled, and I don't know if anyone can get the difference when you have more steel. It's super clean. Ether is the description. It's very aggressive and it's simple, and that's great, but it doesn't it's not my favorite. I enjoy more classic traditional distilling with aging and sitting around. It leaves a slight buttery film like here and here. It's weird, but the natural proteins from the plant, that even though you had to ferment them and then make it happen, it leaves a slight like film, but those proteins smooth the shot for me. They makes it more enjoyable. When you do straight Patron, straight vodka, it's like been distilled 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 times. It's super alcohol. It's supposed to be the clean, and it's not wrong. They're not wrong. It really is pure alcohol. Not my favorite thing. It's like going straight in my system. I don't really get any of the other beautiful flavors. That the whole point of the grains is to pull that flavor and make it different. So when you have different liquors, you have different profiles, different flavors, and that's great. So with this one, distinct, toasty, malty, vanilla, oaky wonderfulness. And if it's in a Mexican barrel, amazing. 4,000-year-old cooking technique, so it's not a new thing. This has been around for a while, but the market has definitely simplified and created genres. And vodka covers a lot, broad spectrum, and tequila is specific, Parmesan cheese is specific, and bourbon specific, and Scotch specific. But whiskey can be around the world, and it enjoys beautiful barreled liquor. So, until then, right now, I'm hoping I gave it enough description. You might want to do it. I believe it's light, subtle, sweet. It's like Jack Daniels without the sour, even though it's sour mesh. It's not zingy, intense, acidic. It's just casual caramel. But Jim Beam's more light, vibrant, sharp, because it's such a clean string kind of booze they do. But I enjoy it more, and that one is like right in the middle ground. It has that muddy, dirty, malty flavor, but it's still pretty vibrant and fresh and clean, but not crisp and harsh like you get from vodka. Overall, I'm thankful. Happy birthday to me. Do take care and enjoy.